All right, what's up, Dragon Brood? It looks like the Rakdos Discard Aggro deck has evolved into somewhat of a Grixis Discard Aggro deck, and we've seen it do well in a couple of major tournaments now, so we're going to take a look at it today and see if it works in best of one. So it's going to be a lot of the usual suspects, but a couple of interesting cards made this list. So we have 3 Duress, not a huge surprise there, those are just good for stopping problematic removal and sweepers. We do have Moon Shadow, since we're going to be putting a lot of stuff in the graveyard, Requiting Hex because it's a cheap removal, Marauding Mako, both benefiting from discarding and being a discard option itself with cycling. We do have Cool But Rude, probably the best tool for this deck. Fear of Missing Out, which discards and draws. Aberrant Oculus. This is one of those things that if we are putting a bunch of things in the graveyard, there's a chance we're just going to be able to cast it. But we do have some tricks to get this onto the battlefield. We have Winter Night Stories, which is a great card to have in the discard as well. But Ral Zarek is one of those tricks that we can get Aberrant Oculus back with. But for that matter, almost everything in the deck we could get back with this because it returns something that costs 3 or less. Also, making us discard is actually not a bad thing, so we could have our opponent and ourselves discard. So we'll see how this works out. Tersa Light Shatter, being able to take advantage of extra cards in the graveyard and having haste. But Amit Selch, Unsundered. This is an interesting card that you don't see too often. But when it enters or attacks, you draw and discard a card, which fits what this deck's trying to do perfectly. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 14 or more cards in the graveyard, you can transform this into a big 6/6 that has Vigilance. And during your turn, you can play cards from your graveyard. If a card or token to be put into your graveyard for anywhere, you exile it instead. So this is actually pretty cool. I don't know how often we'll get to the backside, but just the front side is actually a great tool to have for this deck. And we have Quantum Riddler. Cheap way to just draw cards, and if the game goes long, you have a big 4/6 flyer. So yeah, this should be a fun one, but y'all know the drill. If you're going to buy some Magic cards, whether it be Strixhaven or something else, and you want to do it for 5% off, be sure to go over to Tales of Adventure. It's toamagic.com, and you can do that by just using my code at checkout. It's Dragon, DRAGN. All right, all that said and done, let's go see if this new version of this discard aggro deck can get it done in best of one. All right, this seems reasonable. All right, damage pass. Oh boy, Moon Shadow, huh? All right. Let's let you kill my Moon Shadow. Sure, you got it. And then I assume they'll just play the black room here, and that would make a lot of sense. However, they're playing a lot of life gain lands, which is not what you normally see. It's very interesting. I'm tempted to just go Ral Zarek here. And in a weird kind of change of pace, we're just going to discard. Or at least make the opponent discard. Hold on to ours, because every threat will matter. But if they're just doing a control situation, and we can just call... Oh, you're doing Hive Pool. Wasn't that something? Okay, well, that's a thing we now know. And we got a backup Ral Zarek.
Weak mind, weaker work.
All right, well. Discarding a Requiting Hex? As I don't think that's going to matter, but who knows? I'll probably end up being totally wrong. Strategic Betrayal, you got it. All right. Opponent discards. This is not the intended use for Ral Zarek, but if we're in a control situation, gotta force creatures through one way or the other.
My opening statement will blow you away. At a loss for words.
All right. So we got rid of a sweeper and another strategic betrayal. We can make them discard a card before we even play anything.
Weak mind?
All right. Well, that didn't really matter, as it turns out. Ooh, I guess we'll keep that. And then we'll discard Fear of Missing Out. And get another Ral Zarek. In this matchup, though, Ral Zarek is the stones. So I don't mind that at all. Let's surveil. Don't need the land. Really don't even need Mako. That's fine. And go attacking. Oh, I get to give something else? I didn't realize we were already there. That's nice. And get in for 2 more. I will discard. We're going to keep the Ral Zareks. Yeah, we got everything cooking right now. And 2 cards. Ooh, and got a cool but rude. Nice. Yeah, why? Actually, I'm gonna hold on to that. We might need some discard fodder. Yep, that'll do it. Yeah, not the way you really want to use a Ral Zarek, but I mean, in this particular matchup, when it's just control, Ral Zarek's the ticket, right? Just make them discard over and over to clear the way. All right, let's keep this. Can't really cast the Oculus, but that's fine. Everything else is playable. And, of course, there's an Authority of the Consoles. Usually when you see Authority, it's like, we're in for a long game. Yep, it's going to be one of those. All right, well, situation is what it is. Got to make the most of it. Moonshadow, where were you last turn? You would have been really helpful. I don't know if we're going to have to try to win by cool but rude or whatever. We'll see. Goes vacuum. Great. Not a huge concern, all things considered. This is really more about just how many sweepers did they draw. So that's what's really going to affect stuff. Do we even want to play a Moonshadow this turn? Maybe not. Let's just go with Mako. And then we'll discard. Actually, you know what? I'm going to discard a Requiting Hex. Ooh, Duress is nice. I don't know if we'll get to cast it before they get to do something with it. Oh, and they kept their token? This must be a Caretaker's Talon or something. Huh. Interesting. I mean, they do get some life. They get to scry. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about the scried thing that's on top of the library. That would be much nicer for us. Ooh, another cool but rude. Yeah, let's get that Ultima. So now the question is, were they leaning on Ultima or not here? So, damn. All right, I'm going to bank on they left the land on top because they were planning to cast Ultima. Good or bad logic, that's what we're going down with. All right. I mean, they could have also just left Day of Judgment up there too, but nope, looks like they're going to play Ajani. Probably to remove something. Yep, that makes sense. We're not mad at that. Kind of surprised they didn't go after the Moonshadow, since they would have been able to keep stuff out of the graveyard anyway. But that's neither here nor there. So now we're going to get rid of a token. We're going to level up the cool but rude. we are going to attack the smallest thing at Ajani and the other 3 at the opponents. Ooh, all right. Well, we can't really do much with that. No blue mana. Yep, we would have been 1 point from finishing them had we attacked directly. Man, that was a well-timed duress. If we win this, probably because... Well, no, they never got a 5th land, actually. So what did they leave on top, now that I'm thinking about it, if it wasn't a land? Huh. Oh, boy. All right, we're keeping. Okay. Here's our Moon Shadow, with no way to discard anything just yet. I wouldn't be mad if you wanted to erode, opponent. I would be excited by that, actually. Want to do anything? Probably just going to get lost our Moon Shadow. But I wouldn't be upset either way. No, just a cease and desist to draw. Okay. That's something. Probably one of the starting towns? Okay, we drew a land anyway, so no harm, no foul. Stock up. What? Okay, so this is a 4-color? No. Yeah, well, maybe. It might just be green, white, blue. Oh, there's an Oculus. Huh. Well. Okay. Wasn't sure what I wanted to do there, but let's go ahead. Attack. How many cards? 2. This would be 3. Yeah, sure. Well, Emmet Selch, we know what's getting discarded next turn. I say that. This could just well be like land Day of Judgment. Authority of the Consoles. You got it. So, Tersa's no longer valuable. Cease and desist to gain 2 life. Probably smart. Do we want to draw a card? I think we do. We'd give them a life. But potentially we have something else to get rid of from our hand. I think that's fine. Okay, Marauder works. Yep, we'll get rid of that. Trigger some things. We're going to have 4 mana. Which, if it's something that sends creatures to the graveyard, we would be able to Mako and Aberrant Oculus. So for the time being, I'm going to get rid of this card. All right. I mean, that's a big hit. Opponent's at 7, so they pretty much have to sweep the board on this turn, right? Which, they're playing a control pile. I'm sure it's Day of Judgment incoming. Oh, Star Cage. All right. That's way less problematic than I thought we were going to see. Well, we attack. Sure, that can go in the discard pile. Why not? Discard. Well, I don't want to discard Fear of Missing Out because that actually just does a thing. So yeah, now we'll just discard Oculus, I guess. Actually, opponent's just dead, right? We play Fear of Missing Out, they go to 2, and then they go to 0? Yeah. Alright. Maybe control decks aren't all that rough with this. Oh, and a Duress as a bonus. Okay, I guess we're keeping? Feels like nothing to write home about, but hey, it's a start. Oh, poor Moonshadow, you ain't making it. Oh, that's a bad sign, because the only decks playing those tend to be control piles, and that's bad news for us. Unless we get lucky, maybe it's some Boros thing, some little Boros aggro thing. But if the opponent plays loot with this, I'm pretty sure we just concede, right? Unless we get a duress here. Yeah, I think this is a turn we have to duress. Without it, I don't know what we're going to do. Especially if they're just discarding ill-timed explosions. That feels really bad. Alright, go attacking. See if they'll spend some mana to get rid of this. Ooh, there's a duress. I was going to play Ral Zarek and go back to our discard plan from earlier, but opponent decided they didn't want to tap any mana. Next time a sorcerer torch deal damage for that damage. Okay, sure. So it deals 4 to me? Alright, I mean, that's a thing that happened. They don't have double blue. So let's get rid of No More Lies. Go cool but rude. And then we're going to start playing Ral Zarek silly games. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana already. Oh, they have extra mana now. Great.
My opening statement will blow you away.
Hold on. I think I will discard an Oculus as well here. Yep, I do want to target myself. That is not a mistake.
Weak mind, weaker work.
Attacking. Oh, another duress. Would have liked another land. That ain't it, Chief. Alright, well, lots of silly things are about to happen with the Jeskai's revelation. The only good news is there is a world where I could, like, duress the other revelation. But we didn't have nearly an aggressive enough start, I think. Also, why can they target lands with that card? That card's dumb.
Well, back to Ravnica.
Yep. All right, we're just going to give them the GGs anyway. We were so far behind, we didn't really have a chance in that one. Though there is a very interesting thing about these decks. So far, they've made almost no impact in best of 3. Like any competitive tournaments, they only kind of show up on the ladder in best of 1, which is kind of peculiar. Not really sure what that's about. Starting town, that's a lot of damage, bro. But okay, sure. We're trying to be the aggressor, so let's see what happens. I mean, are we supposed to just play cool but rude this turn? Well, never mind. Now I want to duress and play a Marauding Mako. Oh, so you have loot, negate, trauma. Yeah, alright. Loot's the biggest problem. I don't think that's even arguable. Though negate is pretty rough if we were going to try to get down a cool but rude. So that kind of sucks. But it does keep them from searching. Alright, make them play it. We just need to top deck a land either way. That's just the plan we're on right now. However, that is a permanent that went to our graveyard, so more damage. That's always good. Your opponent's also looking for a red land, so they could pick off a Mako. Petrified Hamlet. Didn't think I'd be seeing people playing that in Standard. Calling Starting Town. I'm not sure for what reason, but okay. Yep, needed a land. Didn't find one. Now we're in trouble. This is where things are going to hurt. Yeah, I'm assuming they took a red land. Or a land, period. But yeah, I was going to say, it had to be a red one, most likely. I mean, if we don't draw land, what are we going to do? You know, just is what it is. I'm actually going to kill our creature. As silly as this sounds. But it keeps them from drawing cards. And dang it, if we could have drawn an untapped land, we could have played Ral Zarek and been on the way to doing what we needed to do. Gosh, damn it. That's so frustrating. We were so close. We were so close to making it happen, y'all. All right. Dang it. I was like, it's a play I don't even like, but it was like, you know, maybe it does a thing. Oh boy. Now we have a decision to make. You know what? I'm just going to Ral Zarek first. If you have a counter, you have a counter. Okay, cool.
My opening statement will blow you away.
Make you discard a card.
Start over from scratch.
Attack. You know what? I think I'm discarding Emmett Selch. While it is a way to draw cards, I think the game plan right now is just get in there where we can. Well, now we have an Aberrant Oculus we could discard. Does pretty much nothing otherwise. And opponent's only at 6. So they have to remove the Mako. Oh, that's not going to do it. They could find an Erode. That would be worthwhile. If they do, though, I think we're just going to go Ral Zarek, double discard. Alright, since we pretty much can't play Aberrant Oculus at any point, let's try this. Oh, wait. No. Cancel that. We want to level this up first. Now we want to do this. And discard the Oculus.
Words are as sharp as daggers.
Alright, deal some damage. Attack. Discard a Riddler. Alright, cool. Yeah, this is crazy that we're running into so many control decks today, but Ral Zarek is just doing all the heavy lifting, I guess. Though, getting a Duress to stop a loot is always pretty big if you can get one of those to happen. I think loot is one of the biggest problems. We'll have to talk about that at the end of the video, because there's some stuff to do to negate some of that. I'm going to assume this is a bad keep, but we're just going to see what happens. Ugh, another Authority of the Consoles deck. Okay. Let's see what kind it is. Definitely a popular card these days. Seen a lot of decks playing it. Them giving us cards is interesting, but nah, let's not even see what shenanigans they're playing. That's such an abnormal card for people to be playing that if my opponent's playing it, I don't think I want to let them keep it. They would like to destroy a blue land. Fantastic. What do I want to get with that? Does it need to be black or red? I guess red, so I'll have double red. I only need one blue at any point. So this is fine. Oh, they have green mana that they need. That's interesting. Not sure I can say I saw that coming. So, Alright, here's what we're gonna do.
I'm honored to be invited.
Until we just figure out what's going on. I think I'm gonna discard one Oculus. Obviously, I can use Winter Night Stories out of the graveyard, but... Oh. They discarded a Get Lost. They must have another way to deal with Ral Zarek. Oh, just another Get Lost. Yeah, that's fine.
You owe me.
That could have been way worse. Ooh, and we got a Cool But Rude. And we have 4 cards in the graveyard. I think I'm going to go Emmett Selch. We'll draw. Yeah, this is where Winter Night Stories goes away. Alright. 5 cards in yard. And an Elspeth, sure.
I will turn the tide of battle.
Would you like to destroy an Emmett Selch? No. So we're going to be playing this game where it's just like... attack Elspeth, blah, blah, blah. Alright. Let's go ahead and play a land. Have some fun here. Yep, sure, that can go away. And... Now we can just Oculus, so... I'm gonna discard the other Cool But Rude. Alright. Sure. Alright, here's a Get Lost.
More heroes for the cause.
I mean, we kind of just keep doing the same thing here, right? Let's map on the Emmett Selch, just cause. Sure. Keep the opponent honest, going after Elspeth. How many cards do we have? We're at 9 in the graveyard. I mean, we're not far from being able to do some silly shenanigans. Sure. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure. Let's go River Pyre. Sure. Silly as it is, the Requiting Hex actually does have a little bit of value. And did you find the sweeper? Alright. Found another Elspeth, didn't I? I knew it. I knew it. How did... Like, as soon as they did that, I was like, there's another Elspeth. Like, nobody was fooled. Not on this day. Ooh, a Fear of Missing Out doesn't suck. All right. And if we discard a land, we would still be able to play Winter Night Stories. Sure. Sure. If I play this... No. All right. Let's discard the Mako. Well, that's unfortunate. All right. Voice of Victory, you got it. So this was just a weird Selesnya Tokens pile, is what this ended up being. I mean, you kind of have to make tokens, right? Because you can't kill the fear of missing out. We're going to get to attack. I guess it doesn't matter, because we're going to get to attack twice with Moonshadow.
More heroes for the cause.
Oh boy, we have options. Okay, well, we're going to go attacking. Let's send Moonshadow, Emmett Selch. These two at the opponents? I think that's right. And then we'll give Moonshadow the ability to attack twice. Discarding Mako. I guess I could have just attacked the opponent directly, but I don't know. This way just gets Elspeth out of the way. And we'll have survived two of their bigger hitters. The thing is, though, if they lose Elspeth, yeah, they're going to end up having to block anyway. Yep, draw a card. And then attack the opponent directly. We will discard that. And with the opponent at 6, I think I'm just going to load my hand up. Ooh. Never mind. I think we're just playing Ral Zarek. And the opponent can discard that card.
Please, save your questions for after my demonstration. Weak mind?
Oh, it was just a land. Didn't matter. All right. That will not do it. Though you do get to destroy a fear of missing out. All right, cool. It does feel like I could have been more aggressive there. But the opponent was playing very much like a control pile, so I wasn't really sure what they had going on. Very interesting that they had joined researchers in that list. But otherwise, this looked like a deck that was just trying to make tokens in a Selesnya list. So we probably just didn't get to see enough of their list to know what their whole game plan was, but it worked out for us. We had to fight through 2 Elspeth, so that was rough. Okay, let's do it. Mako into a Cool But Rude. We do not get to keep our Mako. Fair enough. I think we still set up the Cool But Rude. And then we just have to find something that sticks against the red deck, which I don't know. Honestly, we need a Requiting Hex is what we need. That's not it. What is this guy? Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. If I'm... Okay, cool. That does stuff, basically. What are we looking to do, though? I guess we're going to Ral Zarek. And just work on filling the graveyard?
Always pay attention.
Ooh, fear of missing out's almost worth playing straight up, though. But I'm hoping maybe, if we survive long enough, we can just Aberrant Oculus into something. But they might just, like, attack Ral Zarek here and Lightning Strike it. Which would make a lot of sense. Oh, you're going to Seam Rip the Cool But Root. That's fine. We were a bit away from attacking anyway. A little surprised to see the Seam Rip, but not totally. Alright, so they're going to equip. And then attack Ral Zarek for 2. Oh, it deals 2 to any target. Look at that. Oh, you can sacrifice the torch. But then it would deal 3 total. Okay, that's interesting. Let's surveil.
Choose your words carefully.
2 cards in yard. Do we put them both in there? Probably. Man, a 2/4 is really good here, but I think this is becoming very much about the Aberrant Oculus. So I think that's just what this situation is going to come down to. So let's Fear of Missing Out. It's just, are we discarding the land or are we discarding... Yeah, I guess so. We're kind of all in on this plan. Oh, we drew another Oculus. That sucks. That sucks so much. Oh, that's brutal. And if they... Oh, actually, if they kill our creature, though, or the Planeswalker, we'll have exactly 6. So I guess it works out. And then you kill my Fear of Missing Out? Or, I mean, I guess maybe you give a dude Trample and +2 or something? No? Deal 2 to all my creatures and Planeswalkers? I don't know. This is a weird scenario. Why did we just blow up the torch? Huh. It's weird. It felt like the opponent could have just attacked, see if I block, and then follow up. But we have 5 cards in the yard because, unfortunately, they actually exiled our thing. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to minus Ral Zarek. And I'm going to discard an Aberrant Oculus.
Start over from scratch.
Though I guess it didn't really have to, because using the Ral Zarek itself goes to the graveyard. But I do have a backup Ral Zarek, so we'll see what happens. Which is why we left the other one in there, just in case silly shenanigans happen here. Yeah, just blocking. Okay, well, I guess that's it. I'm assuming, and I don't know this to be fact, that this was just like a budget build Boros deck, but this actually looks like it could have been legit. I haven't seen anybody play with the Soloist, but it's not bad, actually. Maybe it's something we need to look into, because just getting to deal some extra damage every time you play something is kind of nice. Yeah, this one's an easy keep. I say like it's the absolute answer, like, oh, this is an easy keep, but it is. I think because I don't have any other discard options. Man, actually, do we just want to go with that and then maybe discard this? Yeah, all right, let's try. I almost went with Marauding Mako, though. But if I'm going to go ahead and commit to playing the Blood Crypt, you might as well just play the Moon Shadow. Go attacking? Oh, wow, they have nothing. All right, cool. And we got more land, which is not what we wanted with this hand. Oh. All right, well, if this is Synthesizer, we are off to the races, folks. Can't play Ral Zarek, which would be nice, but things are what they are. So we're going to discard Oculus and Mountain to see if we can draw a black land. We did not. And Duress is a turn late. Gosh dang it. Careless Snare works. You got it. Okay. Quieting X does work against tokens, so that's something. I think we just Ral Zarek into Aberrant Oculus, right? Really no need to do anything else. And then next turn we can use double black for various things. Ooh, I will take another Oculus. Yeah, even if they would have had a Synthesizer last turn, we'd have had a bigger attack, and then we also would have gotten to duress something, so... This oddly feels like a good matchup, but I also could have got a really good draw here against them, and they didn't have their best draw either. Their issue now is, yeah, there's no real out here. All their stuff that deals with creatures... Well, all their stuff that deals with creature either costs 3 or it deals with stuff that's costs 2 or less. So with us having a bunch of 3s, I mean, the only thing they could get was this, but then they just be dead at 8. So yeah, that worked out nicely. Because anytime you see this start, you're like, all right, here comes Synthesizer. Know what you're up against. But I definitely would have liked to have had that duress sooner. Fortunately, didn't matter. Ooh, we can't keep this, right? No black mana with that many black cards? That's rough. This is marginally better. Alright. I think we're just going to fear of missing out and see what happens. Studious first year. I think we just discard Oculus and hope for the best, right? Okay, cool. We found a land. So we can Ral Zarek into Oculus and then hope the green deck doesn't run us over by then. Kind of the game plan right now. Also, we'd be returning a creature. Alright, let's go Ral Zarek.
One good speech can never
Return an Oculus. Go attacking. You know, there's a world where next turn... Ooh, we'll take a Moonshadow. We might actually want to make us both discard. Because then we could max out the fear of missing out in the right scenario. Alright, opponent's going rampant. Something serious. Okay, so we have just Planeswalker right now. We can get instant creature... enchantment creature. We can discard a land, but that'll be after we attack. Yeah, it's not worth it. Let's just surveil. See what we flip. Oh, I forgot. We had a Moonshadow in play. I should have flipped that first. Gosh dang it. A little bit sloppy. But it's all good. It's not going to be the end of the world. Go attacking. I guess it doesn't matter. It was already going to be max 7 anyway. I was still thinking about it having the minus counters on it, but in reality, it doesn't matter here. It flips up at 7, and you can't remove any more counters off it, so it doesn't matter if it was face up or not. Yep, green shell, you're not going to be quite fast enough. This feels like the most normal this deck has played as far as, like, things you want the deck to do. But yeah. I mean, you're basically talking about going into turn 5, level up the Cool But Rude, make us both discard so we have a fear of missing out, attack with everything, give this double attacks with the Moonshadow that they can't block. So even if they were at like 16 life, it wouldn't have mattered. Man, tough for the opponent too, because they had a huge ramp start, but I guess they were leaning on the green shell and doing some stuff. But fortunately, we didn't have to worry about it. But yeah, let's get to the end of the video so we can talk about some updates to this if you're going to play it in best of 1. So first off, I want to say really fun build of this, honestly. Enjoyed it a lot, had a lot of cool stuff going for it. There's two concerns though. I think if you are running into either the Jeskai or is it control style decks that are playing the loot, you don't have many answers for them. So I think you should either maximize to 4 duress, which obviously duress doesn't help the rest of the game plan, but it might be a necessary evil. But that would at least give you 4 duress and 4 Ral Zarek, which could be pretty helpful. Or your other option, if you're worried about also dealing with other creature decks, you could play something like a Braid that's able to deal 3 damage and also get rid of the problematic artifact, right? Those are probably your best plans. The other obvious thing is sometimes they're going to have cards like Rest in Peace, so you just can't use your Aberrant Oculus. So your game plan has to be about your other creatures, and in those scenarios, you probably end up having to lean on Cool But Rude, right? Just finding ways to discard and deal damage to your opponent, and that's probably how you're going to get there. Don't really have much choice, because the cards that get rid of enchantments in black aren't great, and you're not really wanting to play those in here because they are going to cost too much and be too slow. So you just kind of take it for what it is. And we did win some of those games where the opponent was removing our graveyard, so you can totally win those without ever having that other part of the game plan go off. The other thing that was surprising was we used Ral Zarek to just make the opponent discard a bunch. I think that happened in 3 or 4 of our games, and it was spectacular at doing that, right? Once we get him down to a few cards, it's like, okay, well, we can just get rid of your counters so we can do whatever we want. You know, Emmett Selch was really good, helping us dig and find other cards. So everything really played its part in this deck very well. This was a fun build. Could you ladder with this? I think so. I mean, we had a lot of fun. Had another loss that didn't make the video because it was a very long game. But yeah, this was fun. Nothing really to complain about here. I'm going to post this list just like it is over on Moxfield so y'all can download it and try it. But again, I will say just be a bit careful with those things I mentioned. If you feel like you need to make changes, go for it. But yeah, I'm giving this one a big thumbs up. This was pretty cool. Or it was cool and not rude. Maybe our opponents thought it was. Anyway, that's all I have for now. We'll see you next time.